Let's see. I can hear you. You can hear me.
Correct. Facts.
Well, here we are. We are fucking live. Welcome back, everybody, to the third episode of 7 on 7. I'm here today, joined by my boy, Gio of the Box Boys. I'm so excited to have you on, bro.
Excited to be
because
here, bro.
It's been a fat ass minute since I've seen you. And dude,
how long? Like what? Like a year now?
Has it really been a year?
When was the last time? If we really go back,
Fuck.
was it like the beach days?
I think it was the beach days, which was a
Like
fat
about-
minute
yeah,
ago.
a little
dude.
over a year,
It was
bro.
a fat minute ago.
Because we like stayed in touch through social. We were always like trying to.
Yeah, of course, always trying to stay in touch. Like,
But
you know,
I think the beach days were the last time.
yeah,
officially.
you know, people who you don't see every, you know,
It's been a minute.
all the time. Like, you try and stay in touch and
Yeah, it's
do
just,
that. But,
life's just zooming, man.
Bro.
Like, especially with us both working like this.
bro, zoom in, dude. Man, I'm fucking so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that you're fucking on the show.
Dude, happy to be here.
Dude.
Especially your third one.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Third one, man.
We're growing every time. We're just getting better and better and better.
3 for 3.
Yes. So this is Gio. For all of you guys who don't know, he is one of two of Box Boys.
One of two.
I kind of want to get started for the people who know you or maybe don't know you. For my fans, my audience, describe yourself a little bit. Who is Gio? Where'd you grow up? Where'd you come from? You know, kind of give us a little background of who you are and what kind of got you started into what you're doing. Just like, you know, the origin story a little bit.
Well, to keep it short, I would say Tustin is hometown. Pretty much where I've grown up. I was born in the city of Pasadena, but from
You were born in Pasadena?
Pasadena.
I actually didn't know
until
that.
I was 6 is when then I moved to Tustin. So from 6 till now 23, Orange County. Tustin has been hometown. So that's
Fire.
where I grew up. Always was. I stayed with one sport, so I was in soccer. But then leaving from soccer to skimming is what initially made me pick up a camera. So was always filming the homies, and then that led to one thing into another, filming homies, and then to going from GoPro edits off editing into my phone. And then I was like, yo, this like edit film stuff's pretty fun. So then that's when I got my first DSLR and still stayed in the skim world. And then 3 years into that, I got a little injury and then flipped the direction of where I was filming. And that's where I decided to take it into the music industry.
Yeah.
So from there on, I've been kind of doing that. And my brother was latched in the very beginning time of when I was doing that. So I was doing that under my name and he started his own thing in his brand, which was Box Boys. So that name Box Boys came from him with a group of friends in high school.
Sweet.
All his friends completely bailed within 1 week. It was like
That's usually how it goes when you try and start something in high school. It's really,
Yeah.
it's really rare if something that you could start in high school or you come up with an idea in high school lasts past high school.
literally.
That's
and
just the nature of the game.
I remember how stoked he was too. He was like inspired by like Odd Future. So it was a collective
Yeah.
is what he wanted at first. And then it all fell apart. And then I was like, hey, like make sure, like he wanted to keep the name. And I was like,
For
make
sure.
sure they're all cool with you taking it.
Oh, for sure.
Because I was already filming, at that point, filming under my name, just Giovanni Carbajal. So I was
Yeah.
doing music videos for all these cool celebrities and underground artists at the same time. And then my brother was like latching onto that. He's like, I want to do it as like a name too, to something to have on the side. And then Box Boys was founded by, like the original name was initially started by him. And then I saw him do his thing for about a little bit of a year. And then I took my direction, molded with him after like a little bit less than a year. And then now we're 2 years in together with
Wow.
Box Boys. And it's cool working with like a blood sibling.
I was just gonna say that's a very interesting dynamic because a lot of people trying to work with family members or even really close friends is really hard because there's just that different dynamic when you're like that close with somebody, and then there's the business aspect of things and like actually trying to make things happen. There's dreams, there's goals, there's aspirations of you and your brother,
yeah.
and then like trying to mesh that and making it successful and making it grow and flourish. Like it's so hard to do, and like a lot of people fail at it. And really, I think maybe this is the only one that I can name on the top of my head, but the only like, you know, sibling companionship brothership thing that like works is like Jake and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been like the prime example of like sibling ship, partnership, business shit.
I definitely
you know?
paid attention to a lot, especially them too. Like,
Yeah.
Same with like, you know, Hippie Sabotage.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
brothers as well too. But yeah, going back to Logan and Jake, I noticed they have some times where they bump heads too.
Of course, that's
it's a brother
inevitable,
thing,
yeah.
and if I notice it, it's usually shit that's just brother shit.
For sure.
And then, but I don't know. I feel like before the business, for me and my brother, we were obviously close as brothers, but we weren't tight. Like we didn't have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Music taste was different. sports were different. Everything was different.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys were your own people.
Everything.
Yeah.
Off. And then, but we had the same like inspirations with video, especially when I picked up and he picked up. We were on the same page, and that's why I asked him like, "Hey, we should do this together." And then as soon as those 2 years were into Box Boys with him, I noticed the bond just
grew.
Yeah, it definitely molded way stronger. And what's helped us too is like heavy communication.
I was just gonna say, like, if there was a piece of advice that you could give to somebody that is looking to start something or work, you know, with a brother, a sister, a cousin, a close friend, like what would be the thing that, you know, is like has made that work? Because it really is a really hard thing to do. Because I even tried it in high school with my best friend at the time, and like it just fell apart because it's like it's just a really hard thing to do that I think people don't understand that it's really hard to do.
I think so when I was building the video stuff under my name initially, I had a couple friends, like really good friends, 2 specifically that just didn't work out. And then the same concept, just because their end goals and what they were looking for was just not aligning to what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so then, like, once I took the time to work on myself and then keep going on my own and working on the film and the career on my own, I noticed my brother was doing his own thing, and it was very similar. So then we spoke, like, when we started, and even then, as we keep going, we have to keep communicating. And so, like, where do we want to go? Step by step, like, what is your end goal? Like, what inspires you? Like, everything, every little thing that comes into it, like, what do you want to see for yourself? And then we bring it to our individuals, like him individually, me individually. What do I want for me? What do you want for you? And then what do we want together?
Yeah,
what is like? Yeah, exactly.
Element.
And then that's how we came up with the mission statement of Box Boys. Because at the end of the day, like our same end goal is just to help out our family and to retire our parents.
What is that mission statement?
We have it written down, but in general, it's just having a full freedom expression of having creative expression and being able to express yourself in any way that you want working with Box Boys. So there's no limit to having a stop point, but as long as you can keep moving and creatively expressing it, that's the point working with Box. Because I have such different tastes with music,
of course,
along with my brother. So like, I mean, like, hey, if we're both working in entertainment, don't say, hey, just this is only we're going to do. Like, no, like keep doing that, and I'll be open to see with what works for your opinion on this, or whatever we do for this music video. If it works for you, like I'll take your decision and I'll run with your decision.
Totally.
Like if it's a bad call, fuck it, it's a bad call. Like I'll run with that too.
But we'll learn and we'll make sure we don't make that.
And that's where we've grown. That's where we've grown a lot at that point too, because I take his decisions, and he's made bad calls, and I've made bad calls, and we both take those calls together. We both go down together.
You're a team.
Like, hey, I'm gonna make this decision.
Excuse me.
Good call, we celebrate it together. Bad call, shit, man, we both fucked up.
We
I fucked up,
together.
and you went with it. I'll learn from it. We'll make a better call the next time. You know.
Facts, absolutely. So, I want to give everyone context for, again, people who might not know you or might not know what you do. Kind of give us, what is Box Boys? You know, because that is totally like, you know, your identity is
literally
for people who know you, or
you got the sticker on the laptop.
Exactly,
as well,
I got the sticker on the laptop. Like for people who know you or are gonna know you after this, your identity is very much in Box Boys and what you do and your business and your brand and this thing that you've created with your brother. Correct. Solely. So like, what is Box Boys?
It's funny because it's so fresh, so everyone thinks it's just like Box Fest is what we've been doing now for our concerts. So people think it's just concerts, or like the merchandise we have, they think it's just the clothing, and it's just like it's scattered because it's so fresh. But Box Boys is a multimedia company. It's around all entertainment. So we initially started with music videos, and then from there on it ventured to clothing, and then collaborations with other underground companies, and now we're hosting music festivals. And I don't think we're not going to give it a limit to where we venture out. But it is a multimedia company. So it's founded by music videos, and that was the core foundation that made it spread within like the music festivals, the clothing, the collaborations with other cool underground companies and stuff. So it's all fresh to it, but it's all a multimedia. So it's all under
multimedia company.
And right now within Box Boys, like when you think of Box Boys, it's all underground rap right now.
Yes.
So it's super underground rap, but as we go, we want it to venture out into just mainstream is like the goal at the end too. But we like, especially
wherever it goes.
It goes too. You know, wherever the wave's going, we hook it, and as long as we like it, we're happy hooking it.
Exactly.
So that's the main thing too. But
sweet,
just to pretty much,
I love that.
Run around that. It's just a multimedia.
Not putting a roof on it. You know, obviously mainstream would be the goal. Well, whose goal isn't mainstream? When they're, you know, a creator or a multimedia company or a producer or anything, like you want to hit that.
Because it is like an underground company right now too.
For sure.
Super underground.
But I mean, for only being in 2 years, like Right. It's been 2 years
2
since
years.
like Box
Well,
Boys is like really.
Yeah,
big
it's
thing.
February, dude. So in a week or two,
Yeah, it'll be like
it's
2
2
years.
years officially.
Yeah, but in 2 years, you've worked with people like Lil Xan, Steve Cannon, fucking like Lil Pump was wearing your
Yeah,
merch.
so random.
Like,
man.
yeah, Lil Pump, like, there's a video of him wearing a Box Boys hoodie. Like, you guys are throwing music festivals with people like, Baby Santana.
Yeah,
like, a lot of these, like, underground artists. And, like, even though they're underground, like, I know a lot of those artists. Like, maybe that's just because obviously I'm in the music world. But I feel like a lot of these people will know who they are, too. And, like, that's a lot to do and accomplish in 2 years. And, like, I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Because that's huge. Like, that kind of growth and, like, the community that you're building. Like, I said this in the first episode, and I said this in the second episode, that, like, whoever builds community first wins. And, like, you guys are building a beautiful community at Box Boys and, like, having, like, a loyal and dedicated, like, fan base and people who are like, yo, Box Boys, Box Boys, Box Boys, Box Boys. That is so hard to do when you're starting from nothing. Like,
zero.
You have a fucking idea, you have a fucking sticker, and you're like, hey, this is going to be Box Boys. And, like, to get it to where, you're at now, like, I want to dive into, like, a lot of the logistical things of, like, how you've done that. But I want to start as, like, what do you think has been the biggest, as I say, and I've said it on previous episodes, the secret sauce of, like, to get you where you and your brother are at right now, from an idea of, like, hey, this is something that we want to do, let's mesh our worlds, to you guys are throwing music festivals.
Yeah.
Which, like, that alone, underground or not, doesn't matter. That is fucking hard to do on any level. Like, there's so much that goes into that. So, like, what do you think's been your guys' secret sauce of, like, how you've been able to accomplish so much in 2 years?
Within those 2 years.
Yeah, because it's really, really impressive.
I think the big thing is just what you mentioned earlier is literally coming from jack, zero, nothing.
Yeah.
So having like those baby accomplishments, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, keep going, you want more, but I don't know. I've learned to celebrate those little moments along with still going at the same time. So that, like, it all goes into gratitude too. So, like, moving into those little things, I appreciate every little success, even to the point where I had, like, the first music video where I was able to get, like, $200 for the first couple of music videos. I was like, dude, I'm finally getting money. Yeah, like, this is sick. Because at first I was like, hey, this and that. Like, oh, you don't have any work, just skim edits. And then my brother was on the same page. He's like, you just have little clothing edits. So that's how we were just starting. And I was like, dude, how are we going to get to the next step to even just get a couple $100? And then, but yeah, initially it was just from being super grateful about that and realizing we have nothing to lose because we're starting from absolutely nothing.
Oh, you just nailed it on the fucking head right there, brother.
And that's what, like, to this day now, 2 years into it, we still have that, like,
that mindset.
We still have that mindset, and it's just realizing, like, hey, like, what is there to lose? At the end of the day, we're all gonna die. That's the biggest thing. Like, we're all gonna die. So why not go for this, man?
Episode, dude. we all go out. Like,
I could go out after this podcast, walk out, get my car explodes, hits me, boom, and I'm done. But I'm happy with what I've been doing because of how hard I've been going. Realizing how fast I could go, or you never know when. And my brother lives the same way, man.
The connection is crazy.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because I would tell him this, and he initially wasn't thinking these things at first. I was like, yo, because he was like 15, 16 when he was like at home, still like figuring his things out, and I'm here beginning to see things on my end. And I remember I would like get bigger gigs, and he's like, oh, how'd you find this artist? And I'm like, I'm doing this and that. And he was like, I'm like, dude, start now, man. Like, you have the time now. So by the time you're like 17, like, you'll have leverage. And then from there on, he was like, oh, okay, cool. So then he then would hit me back with the you're going to die kind of comments back when I would be like doubting some things.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, I don't know if I should do this. He's like, dude, this is going to end. Just go for it. And like, we just remind ourselves we just need to go for these things and like, don't fear it. Don't fear the judgment. And then just having the power of social media to network. So we had that, and I dropped out of school. I was literally in school at the time when I was like figuring out how to like network, ditching school to go film. I was in my film class, ditching my film class to go get other film gigs. And I was like, okay, man, like I literally was bleeding it. At the moment I would wake up, I would find out networks do this. To the moment I'd go to sleep, and like it slowed down a little bit because now we have a lot more to work with.
Of course.
So I'm not going as crazy to find something.
Totally.
But it came from nothing, you know.
Yeah,
so
of course.
That's pretty much the foundation from that, and then realizing the networks, and it's just who you know, and then squeezing everyone and just being okay with failure.
Of course.
Fail so many times and just be okay. Like, make it your best friend.
100%. You literally, your last thing that you just said, and then you said something in there that I believe in so heavily, and that I need and want people to understand, is you said, don't fear the judgment. Not fearing the judgment is so crucial when you're starting anything.
Oh my God.
It doesn't even matter. It can be creative. It could be whatever, dude. You graduate college and you go to work at a firm, or you're doing whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, not fearing the judgment and being okay with failure, I think, is two of the most crucial.
They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand, and they're two of the most crucial aspects to being successful, because too many people give a fuck about what people think, and them caring about what people think inhibits their growth and their ability to progress what they're trying to do forward, because they're always thinking, oh, well, what if Johnny thinks this, or what if fucking Miranda thinks this, or
comment this.
Yeah, what if they comment this, or if I post this, it doesn't get this many likes. Does that mean people don't fuck with? Like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Everyone's
like,
brainwashed on that aspect.
You need to stop that. Like, that is such a crucial element.
I try to help everyone around me to just live fucking free, bro.
You have to,
and that goes back to the idea of, like, dude, we're gonna die. Who gives a fuck about what Schmo or this dude has to say about you? Like, in 100 years, that's gonna mean jack shit, because we're both gonna be in the ground.
Exactly.
Literally.
Man, dude, no. Oh, I fucking love that. That's such a crucial point that I need people to understand, is quit fucking fearing judgment. Nobody cares.
No one cares.
Nobody
bro.
fucking
Everyone
cares.
Everyone has their own shit to worry about. Like, yeah, there's like maybe a split 20-minute, 30-minute window of just nonsense talking, and then they go back to their own lives and worry about what they need to figure out.
Exactly.
Who gives a fuck? You got to figure out your own shit too.
And that's what I'm saying. And, like, people need to understand too, if, like, someone's is gonna take the time out of their day to, doesn't matter if it's a YouTube, a Twitter, an Instagram, doesn't matter,
in person or social,
or social, to, like, say something negative to you about you and what you're doing. Like, you need to have empathy for that person.
Yeah.
Because you need to be like, wow, like, they felt the need to tell me some irrelevant negative shit, or take time to comment something that, like, wasn't positive, or, like, anything, like
that. Literally, they took the time.
They took the time to do that. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, like, there's got to be something deeper going on with them as a person, because, like, I don't know how anyone can hate on someone that's trying. Like, when did trying not become cool?
Yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if you succeed or you fail. It doesn't matter. But, like, if you're trying to do something and create something and build something that's bigger than yourself, and that's going to be here after we're in the ground, like, and you're, like, putting your time and that dedication, like, when did that not become cool to try?
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate that that's a thing, and that needs to stop. And all you fucking people need to quit giving a fuck what people say.
Seriously.
I'm tired of it, and you guys need to be fucking tired of it, because it's a bunch of bullshit. I want to jump in to the music festival shit, because that's an aspect of Box Boys that has particularly done really well recently. You're having literal music festivals in LA.
It's so surreal.
Yes, they're underground artists, but they have huge followings, millions of streams on Spotify sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, they're artists, like, they have a fan base. And, like, you're getting these venues, you're, signing these people to come and perform, you're selling out shows. Like, that is so hard to do. Like, I know people who have tried to do that, and, like, I want to do a music festival, or I want to do even something that's even remotely in the realm of that. Logistically, it's so hard to do and do well.
Yeah.
So how in the world have you guys been able to do that and do it successfully, to where literally, like, I've seen your posts and seen people, posting, when's Box Fest?
Yeah.
When's Box Fest? When's Box Fest? For those of you who don't know, their music festivals and their concerts that they throw are called Box Fest. Obviously, Box Boys, Box
Presented
Fest.
by Box Boys.
Yes. So how in the world have you guys done that? because that is such a hard thing to do.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a lot of work when it comes to like the management side of these festivals. But what really set the tone was our first festival, and initially we were just gonna do a little pop up. So my brother's idea was like, hey, like we could do a pop up concert at a skate park with the artist that we were working through. That was the initial plan, which was crazy.
A skate park
skate park pop up. We were literally just gonna put a tent and speakers and then mics and have the artists. I don't know if you ever remember those artists we were working with, One and Only, like Nathan and Sis. So that group became our close clique for about a year, and we were doing a lot of stuff with them, the music videos, and then they were helping us out with all these other things. And then that's when my brother and I spoke about these, like the idea of having like a concert or a festival. And then he was like, let's try the pop. So we pitched the idea of the skate park idea to them. And they were both like, what the hell? And I was like, okay, let's scratch that.
Yeah.
So then we went into looking into warehouses. So we like make it more of like an underground feel, like if it's in a legit warehouse. And we were just having so much trouble with the warehouse owners. And they were saying like, hey, it's like $5,000. And we had like no money to start with.
And permits and like...
Permits as well.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you only have like a 200 person limit. And I was like, dude, this is awful. Like,
totally.
We have no control of this. And luckily, Nathan, the one and only guy, was the guy that he just spoke up out of nowhere after like weeks of us trying to find this out. He's like, yo, I actually my manager has a guy that like runs venues and he can help us out with this for our show.
Fire.
I was like, cool, send me the number. And then I literally called the manager and he's like, yeah, let me connect you with this one guy, Yui. Shout out Yui. He's now our venue guy to this day now. So that's
sweet.
He has venues all over the
States.
Shout
out Yui.
Yui's the guy. And so yeah, that was our first one. So we had our first Box Fest, and it was just we tried organizing it as best as possible, but it was like kind of scattered more in a way we would just grab who was there, and I was like, yo, you guys want to perform? And then my brother was like, yo, I got these people that are with us that are already working with us that are down to perform. And that became the first fest, and that was with Josiah headlining, and then from One and Only, 8%, Keisha, all those people that were in that first fest. And then that initial time from that guy that gave us the venue, we had the first show sell out. We had the first venue that was 150 capacity. So that sold out to then the second venue next door, and that was 350. So it filled in, and I was like, dude, this is fucking insane. Like, we have no experience.
And this is happening.
Nothing. This is happening. And I'm like,
totally
freaking out. I remember the line was out the door, and I'm like, dude, we organized this. We prepped for a month. We had a month in advance to like book the venue and like make sure they were all good to perform.
All the logistics were like
within a month, dude. I was like, we did this, man. Yeah, everything was taken care of. We had like mini wristbands and guest lists, and like we like made it legit from our experiences as fans going to concerts and festivals. I'm like, okay, this is what we experienced. Now let's enter their eyes into the owner world. So like, what are we missing? This, and that. We would check up with the venue guys, be like, hey, like, is this all good? We have the sound good, everything's good, and they give us like slight rules and like a checklist, like you guys should do sound check, this and that. So I was like, okay, cool. There's at least a structure we have at the same time with having this being our first time experience.
Totally. And
then it sold out, and then nothing, like, dude, it was the most perfect show that we could have ever had, and that's what set the tone. So then first Box Fest, all the people and the fans were like, yo, this is amazing. Like, it was like super authentic because it was the first time ever anyone's seen the word Box Fest. And then I was like, cool. And then my brother also did some work, and then he was out there going to shows, networking with all these artists, managers, and then bringing in all these new heads. And he had a huge factor to the second Box Fest, and that's where we got all those networked. That's where we had D Savage.
Yep.
So D Savage, Autumn, and then from there on we had Slump 6, and then it kind of just snowballed into that second fest, and everyone saw who was on the lineup. And then at one point we had people hitting up my brother and the Box Boys account like, yo, put me on. And it was like artists we never expected to hit us up and be like, dude, yeah, come through. This is super underground. You guys belong on this scene.
For sure.
And then from there on, that gave us the next standard. And then now we have the third one, so we kind of went up the second one, and then now we're just planning for a tour, a Box Boys tour at the end of the year. 3-show tour. Texas, Miami, and New York. But we're planning this all through our Yui guy, the venue guy. So he's helping us out a lot with that stuff too. And as we go, we're learning.
Of course. Oh, of course. Like that's like how we were talking before we started filming. You know, even with the podcast. Literally, you know, like we're just like everyone. You're learning. Like something's different every time. You know, there's growth, or it gets better every fucking time.
Crazy stuff though.
Why? What made you guys choose the underground route? Like, because there's a lot of routes that you could have gone. Because obviously I've known you. What? It's probably been like 4 years. 4 years now.
About like 3-4 years.
Yeah, like 3-4 years, and like I know your music taste and like what you like. Yeah, for sure. And like you could have gone like a lot of different routes.
Super.
Yeah, totally. Like you could have gone anywhere. So like, what drew Box Boys to being, you know, To be honest, like I said, for people who don't know you are going to know you after this, I highly recommend you guys go follow Gio and Box Boys and his brother. And I would arguably say that Box Boys has become like the premier underground festival multimedia company, like in the scene, really, for like the niche that you guys are in right now. Like, you guys are fucking killing it.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
killing it. So what made you guys
Choose that route?
Yeah, choose that route. Like,
so initially, Box Boys. So when it was started, we were inspired by a lot of like big time, like Lyrical Lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
So the way he started his stuff was a big inspiration to both my brother and me. So I was like, hey, this is cool. And we kind of didn't want to obviously replicate exactly what was going on.
of course.
But a lot of the inspo did come from that. So we did stay in the rap realm because of that. I was like, personally, I love rap too. I love house, and psychedelic rock, and all this cool stuff too. But I love rap. My brother's 5 years below me, so we have a huge age gap too. And he's 18, I'm 23. So the music he's listening to with the younger kids that he's also with, when he was in high school, way different from when I was already like out of high school and like listening to my own stuff too. But then again, it's just music taste too. It has nothing to do with age at the time.
For sure.
But a lot of it was from music taste. So his music taste was super underground rap. And I love the like rap in general too. So I was bringing in like Zan and all these random like rap names. And then at first it was scattered, man. Like we were just doing videos for anyone that hit us up.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, like we'll do one for you. Like some indie song that came through, we would do it. And we wouldn't host these. We would just slap the logo, Box Boys logo, and give it to them.
Yeah.
And that kind of just helped out, dude, because I was surprised from what I almost said no to a couple artists, and there was like this girl artist I filmed, and I like wasn't really feeling it too much. And I was like, we'll give it a shot, man. Like we'll open for it because the song just wasn't my taste.
Yeah.
Great artist too, but just wasn't like my feeling. I was like, we'll make it work. This is just work more something to work on. And then that's what gave us a door to D Savage, and I was like, okay. Then we got into this underground door, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling this. And my brother was always into that taste. So then that's when he like squeezed all the underground networks that we had, and he like opened their doors into more doors. And then we realized we had like a group of underground artists. And I was like, dude, we're here. We're literally just in the underground world. Like we pushed aside everything else we weren't liking, and we did all the work, all the dirty work that we were just doing to do at the time. Because at first it was scattered.
Yeah.
We were just doing videos. We were like, dude, let's just do music. It's not a genre point at this point. It's like, hey, we could do indie, we could do rock, whatever comes down to it. It's just a music video company. Yeah, that's all it really was at first, just music videos. But as we grew, we realized it was a multimedia.
You realized it was something bigger than just music videos.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what initially was supposed to start it. Scattered with all sorts of genres, and I was like, cool, this is cool. But I never had that spark in the beginning too with the genres we were working at first. And then now that the underground scene, especially for my brother, because he loves the underground scene for sure. So he's like, I remember he mentioned, he's like, dude, I'm in the scene. I'm so happy I'm in the scene. Like, this is where I want to be. And I support it too, because this is the new wave. It's like, the 2016 wave with Uzi, X, and all that. It's like happening again with all these new heads again.
For sure.
And it's like a whole new reroute again with Santana and like Slump.
Dude, literally that's you just fucking jump in my brain real quick because I literally was gonna say like some of the people that you have on those lineups, like in particular like Slump 6 and Baby Santana, like I personally listen to them
they're going crazy
quite
too.
Often, and they're fucking rap.
Yeah,
like they're fucking dope. Like their music,
they're young, bro. They're youngins.
Their music
14,
is dope.
15, and then 16 for a Slump or something.
You said something about the age difference of you and your brother. It's 5 years. Does that play a part? And I feel like in a way it's beneficial to you as him being younger and being your partner, because having someone that's younger understands the younger demographic.
Yeah, the younger generation.
The younger generation
Not
and
that
the
I
younger
don't,
demographic.
He knows it.
Yes, he's in it. Like, I feel like that plays a huge part.
Tremendous.
Okay.
I was just talking to someone about this too, and I was like, glad we weren't the same age.
Yes.
Glad we don't have the same music taste.
For sure. There's gotta be differences. There's gotta be, the individuality, you're you, I'm me, you're this age, I'm this age. But like when you come together, it's like you have this insight because you're here.
Yeah, you're this person with this age.
Exactly.
And I'm here with this experience, and you're with this experience.
Exactly.
And it definitely intertwines. Like it comes into I don't know. It's all very beneficial for both of us. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have my older, like I'm the older brother with some other experience. I'm not saying his experience isn't valuable, but he's got his own thing and I have my own thing too.
Of course.
And I'm more open-minded now to listen to his experience because he's got life to offer to me, you know? I'm
of course.
I got to see his perspective, because he's brought very valuable things to the table and likewise with me. So I'm like, dude, if we can keep doing this and we respect each other with how we view our own paths with your perspective and what you're moving with, likewise to mine, there's going to be a lot of success we're going to see as we grow.
For sure.
Then by the time you're my age, you're going to have a different outlook.
Of course.
And you're going to have that new generation under you again.
Absolutely.
It's just like I have it now. Like right now it's me and then I have my brother and he has a generation there.
Totally.
So when he's me, like at my age, he's going to have that generation under and I'm going to be here. But then there's no limit too, you know? Like that's just, I think about the times when like J. Cole was talking about like Lil Pump. Yeah. And he's like, oh, this mumble rap, this and that. But it's like, it's the change, you know? And it's the change that comes through. Then so like I see that with my brother and like it's like he's deeply involved with that and I'm like, cool, this is the change that's coming and he understands it really well and as do I, but I'm here understanding that as well and then jumping into the other side of like whatever mainstream and then here and there and like whatever I have to offer with my skills and my taste comes to the table and it's just like it's hand in hand.
For sure.
And it's very helpful.
And I think a lot of this is having to do with the principle of compromise, which is so crucial when you're working either by yourself, but you're going to work with other people, or working with someone like a brother or a close, relative, like that understanding of you're here, I'm here, you've been here, I've been there, but we're working on this together, being able to compromise and understanding that, okay, sometimes we're going to have to go more your route, even though it's maybe not what I want to do.
Oh,
but this would be better. Like
100%.
I've had so much personal experience like with that, like just like through my career and like what I've done and working with like bigger artists and like working with like when I was making the album, like one of my like really good friends, Krista Youngs, she's like a Grammy nominated, Billboard #1 singer songwriter. Like she's the real deal. And like we had a song together and like, there was things where I was like...
Differences.
Yeah, there was differences and shit where I was like, maybe this or that or whatever. And it's like, I just came to a point where I was like, you know what? Like, I just need to understand and tell myself like, hey, you got to compromise on what, the bigger goal is here. Yeah. Like, you can't get so caught up in like, oh, well, this is what I want or this is what she wants.
Yeah.
So even though we want different things, so it can't work. Like... If you have that mindset,
it's gonna fall apart.
Yeah, ain't nothing gonna fucking work. No. It'll never happen. Like you have to just.
A lot of it's from like the success of this work is for sure.
You gotta have the humility,
slamming your ego away,
dude.
Away.
Oh my god, it's like every episode is connected. I fucking swear. We literally, in the last 2 episodes we talked about ego. Like ego is the death of humanity. Like if you let your ego get in the way of like what you're trying to do and who you're working with, or like. You're letting your ego block your goal. Like I always like I say like you can't give up what you want most for what you want now. Like and like the ego part plays such a huge role in that like statement. And like, dude, it's ego death, like no pun intended, but like, like you just ego's got to go.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's where it comes back
to
like
it's got to get the fuck out.
The healthy or bad calls where we just spoke earlier, where if it's a good call and you guys both celebrate that, man. And there's times where my brother's like, hey, this is what I want to do and this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, I'll take a step back and I'm like, all right, let's run this. I'm in this decision. I'm in with your decision for this one.
Exactly.
Let's run it.
Exactly.
And then there's times I'm like, hey, we're doing this. We're going to work with this and this is what we're going to do. And he like, we kind of compile over and over. And then
elements of like what you guys
keep
want.
Compiling on each other. Because he thinks of it. He said this one time with a couple friends in front of us. He said that he thinks of one thing and then I'll slap it with a different way of thinking and twist it. And then he's like, oh shit, yes. Or vice versa, like I'll think of it and he flips it and he's like, let's do this instead.
Absolutely.
Rather than, or sometimes there's times where he's like so confident in what the next decision is, he's like, let's do this. And I'm like, fuck it, man.
Let's do it.
And there's been bad calls and I'm like, fuck, like we take it down together, man. Like,
that's life, dude. Like there's not every fucking decision you make or call you make for your business or your brand.
I made some calls too and it's like, bro, come on. I'm like, fuck it, man. We learn, we learn.
Exactly. People just need to not be afraid to make that.
Yeah, and that's
those
what's
mistakes.
Taught us the most, man. Like falling.
Yes,
picking yourself back up,
bro. You have to fail. Like you have to lose your fear.
Everyone says it.
Yes,
everyone says it. It's the only way. Like everyone keeps repeating it. Like you hear it in so many different people's lives, careers, way of moving in life. Like everyone says the same shit.
Yes, because
fail.
it's not fucking bullshit.
It's the only answer. Like you gotta
It
fail and keep moving. That's what teaches you.
Literally,
you
like
can't expect to learn.
On my fucking on the last, like one of my last Instagram reels, like one of the audios I use and like I love it is like it's Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. He's like some of the shit he says is just is unreal. But he said you have to lose your fear of failure. You learn nothing from your success. You only learn from your failures. Literally, which is like. I don't think there's any better way to describe the importance of failure rather than that. Like, agreed. You can never be successful if you don't fail, because if you don't fail, you won't learn the skills to deal with success when you get it. Like,
yeah, you won't know how to keep yourself.
You won't know how to keep it. That's like the same principle. Like, if someone has never worked a day in their life or whatever, or has never like really put their head to the grindstone and fucking gave it their everything, and someone's just, give them $1 million. That $1 million is going to be gone before it ever hits their bank account.
And that goes into like the same aspect, back into music, like the one hit wonder idea.
100%.
Someone blows up off of one hit, and that work ethic or that mindset's not there, all going to deteriorate within a year.
It's done.
You have the success, maybe you can go for a year or two, but if you don't have anything to back that up, man, like shit, man, watch it fall apart.
You have to develop the skills that come with failure, because the skills that you develop when you fail teaches you how to be successful. Like, it's proven over and over and over again in history, and it's something that will forever be true. And people who don't fail, I feel just people who have failed will always be a step ahead.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what I'm saying? And not in an egotistical way, not in any sort of whatever you want to think. Like, just people who have failed and know what that really is like will always be a step ahead of you, simply for the fact because they know what it's like to fail. Literally. To be like, wow, a lot of people are scared to try fucked up. But hey, let's not do that again, and let's move on.
One way not to do it, for sure.
That's a one way not to do it. Dude, fucking totally. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. Holy shit.
Facts,
dude, that is so fucking... That is one way not to fucking do it.
One way, for
sure.
Oh
my god.
Out of the many other ways.
Facts. So, I kind of want to ask your personal opinion on advice, because you're obviously, you're a little bit older than I am.
23.
Yeah, I'll be 23 this year, so we're basically the same age. Yeah,
age,
basically the same
22?
age. Yeah, I'm 22, but I'll be 23 in September. Because I asked, this is kind of just something that I ask all my guests that are on here, because people that are our age, younger, older, we're just so much in the generation of everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Everybody wants to be a photographer, a musician, a videographer. So everyone just wants to be a creative or YouTuber. Doesn't matter. Like, people want to be like, I want to do this because I want to be on my time. I want to build something. Yeah. Like, but a lot of people don't understand what the fuck it takes to do that. But for someone that's our age, younger, older, that's a Box Boys fan, or that will be a Box Boys fan after this, if they're looking to do something similar or something different, but it applies the same concepts of, what it's taken to build Box Boys, what would be your piece of advice to help someone grow, or, be like, try and do this, like, like as a role model-ish figure of like, this is what I would tell you what to do if you had nothing, like where I was 2 years ago, like with this, and like how I've gotten here. Like, this would be my piece of advice to you.
Yeah, I guess for me, so I notice a lot of people just want to do things to have that like freedom. Mm-hmm. But like breaking it down, for me, the biggest thing that gets me going and like staying on track is reminding myself like why I'm doing this, and make sure you genuinely love it. Like genuinely, like for me, you could literally take away all the money that I'm making, and I'll still keep doing this, like for sure. I've started doing this for 3 years straight for fun.
And you just, my friend, nailed it on the fucking head. When money is not the motivator,
it comes.
It comes. Like, it will just come naturally because that's just the nature of the world. But when money is your motivator,
you're going to burn.
Bro, you're going to burn.
Quick.
So quick.
You
like,
you can everything's going to fall apart.
You can never be motivated by money.
Yeah.
Ever. Like, that is, and I think that is back to the ego talk a little bit. Like, but yeah, I just had to throw a quick point on that because that is like,
that's
you
100%.
nailed that spot on. Like, if you were to take away everything that I'm doing money wise and not paying me shit, I would still keep doing it.
Exactly. Because that's how I started. I was doing it for fun, out of passion work for years, and just not 1 cent was made.
Yeah.
Literally for like 3 years. This was all skimboarding edits.
Yeah.
Just enjoying the feeling of cutting shit to music, and I was like, this is fucking great. And then seeing the smiles of people when I would give it back to them, like, here's your edit.
Yeah,
and they'd be like, no way! And then it's just like a piece of memory that they have.
Like that video when we were in Arizona. When I played that show and we had that Airbnb
together, and like like that feeling was you can't take those feelings away, but that's the core foundation to me.
Yes.
So like
it's
why I was doing it first. And then now that we're growing into like a bigger thing with that, then it's like, okay, now what else do I want to keep seeing? And now I'm seeing other outlets, and I'm like, okay, we're having power to change lives now. Like, everyone can view it how they want to see it, but like, I want the power to have, like, if this grows, when we get the power to have something, I want it to be pushed into changing lives.
Yeah.
Like, having everyone inspired to realize they could do what I'm doing as long as you're fucking on track and making sure you love it, like we do. Because like I said, like, we weren't making much money before the festivals and the music videos. It was just like, a little frustrating to get the door going, because it's like at the end of the day, the music industry is involved with tons of money too.
Oh, of course.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But
of course.
What fuels it before the money comes is like what we said, the passion. So that's the biggest core for me, the foundation of that. And then from there on, then you keep adding things. You know, it's like then to keep going in the long run, it's like, okay, we have these things growing, but we're using this to change lives, to inspire others, and etc. But that's the main core from what I mentioned earlier. That's my biggest advice. Make sure you just love it.
Yeah.
You'll go on forever.
Find your why.
Yeah, why?
Yeah. I resonate with that very heavily. Like, why, before you start something, why am I doing this?
Why? Like, and is it just for the image? Do you want to flex this? Because you're going to fall apart with that too. Like, that's going to burn you down too. Just as bad as the money.
People love to do it for the flex.
Yeah, people do it for the image, and it's like, you look at them and they're falling apart.
Yes.
And it's just like they're literally holding on to bare strings with what image is going on next.
Oh.
And it's like, dude.
Find your why.
Yeah, find the why.
Find the why, because the why will fuel everything that you're trying to do.
Literally.
Especially if like you said, you have to love it, and you have to find the why, and you have to have the passion for it. Because if you have passion for it, the passion will give you that mindset of, if every dollar was to get taken away right now, I would still do this. Like, because you love it and you're passionate about it. If it's not fueled by anything else, like, you always remember your why. This is why I started it. Like, fuck the money.
As I'm building like Box Boys with my brother, there's moments where we like work between us creating music videos for them to take, and then for us to host on our channel.
Totally.
And then there's times where we're like, since we're still growing our YouTube, like, I'm okay with taking a whole production, even putting my money into this production to host on us. And like, technically I'm doing it for free and then like using my money, but I love this so much, like, I'm okay with these things.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't love this and I'm here doing it just for the money, I'd be tripping out if I put like $1,000 down just for someone to help, like, to have a video hosted on my channel. And I'm like, damn, now I'm tripping, I'm losing money, and I'm not even enjoying what I'm doing. I'm negative on everything right now.
Totally.
Yeah, so it's like, enjoy it for sure.
Damn, it's such a simple answer, but it's not a simple answer.
Yeah, we could go on forever.
You could go on forever. That's the core
of it.
Yeah, and people need to run that back and understand. Just, you need to find your why.
Yeah, and I just had a conversation with a few friends, and like, they were talking about like what they want to do. I'm like, that's the same question I asked them. Like, what are you doing for your job? Like, I understand you're doing this. Now question it. Would you do it if there wasn't any money? Like, would you just keep doing it?
Absolutely.
And then I remember they were just like, dang.
Yeah.
And they thought about it. I'm like, yeah, think about this now. Now move differently. Sure. So that'll change your happiness and everything.
Oh, I love that so much. You are going to continue to be very successful, and that is a reason why you are successful, because it's rare to have that mindset and to have that true passion behind anything that you're doing, because the passion can not get lost, but it can fade. And that's kind of like something that I want to dive into as a fellow creator.
Go back to our creative therapy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, dude. I used to call like when we would go to the beach or take a trip or a drive or anything.
Just to refuel.
Yeah, dude. Creative therapy. I believe in that heavily. Like I think all you guys need to implement creative therapy in your life.
Yeah.
But I want to ask this question to you as a fellow creator because I get in it. Everyone gets in it. That's a creator.
That little fade out moment.
The slump.
The slump kicks in.
Yeah,
Here
you know, the slump, the creative drought of, you know, you're feeling uninspired, you're feeling unmotivated. That's timer, guys. But we're going to finish this question.
Yeah.
You know, how do you deal with that slump when you're unmotivated? You're like, I don't want to do this. And you can very much question, you know, why am I doing this again? We all have those moments as creators, and it goes even beyond being a creative. Like everyone has those moments where they're just like, fuck, like,
yeah, exactly.
You're just kind of having that rethink moment, that slump in life a little bit, where you've put all this time and this energy into something, and like you get in that drought for, you know,
weeks.
Yeah, dude, sometimes weeks. Like it really does. Like I've been in them a lot, and I know that you have been in them a lot. It's inevitable. Like, how do you deal with that slump in a sense? You know, the creative slump or just the mental slump?
I think what's helped me a lot for sure is, having a routine with how you work is important. But here and there, throw that curveball in your routine. Like whether it's getting a new piece of gear, approaching some shit differently. Because there's times where you're editing over and over and over and over, and it's like, damn, like I'm not feeling this right now. Like I've been doing this for hours and days and months. And it's like the drive just slowed down just a little bit, but it's like you got to remind yourself, like we're human. You got to go exercise, man. To get out the door, go work out, hit some sun, and then that's what kind of like live life so you can get that general creativity to bring back to your desk, and then that's where it all goes into your videos, your music. But then that's just one aspect of it, and then the biggest thing that's helped me is for sure just learning as much as you can. Like when you're having that downtime where that creative drought just slams down, and you have like a week or two of just being off. Try new shit, get a new piece of gear, get a new lens, that are whole new, like talk to homies and see what they're doing differently and just adapt to what they're doing. And then for me, doing new things and seeing a whole different result is just like, oh shit, like this is cool. This is what's kind of picked up a little bit. Because there's times where I'm like, I have a bag of tricks that I pull out when I edit, and it's like boring sometimes. I'm like, dang, like I've done this.
I've done this 1,000 times. Like
I'm doing it again. I'm just here like, okay, whatever. Like, but
kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, just going through the motions is what gets me slow. And
Same.
I'm like, all right, I'm just going through the motion. Like, where am I going to change it? Hit the curve.
Yep.
And then that's where I'm saying, like, that's where you can get a whole new lens, and if you don't have the money to invest in things, that's when you just like learn off, like,
go experience something.
Then step away from the desk and the camera and the laptop for a day or two, or sometimes even like a week.
Yeah, dude.
Shit, man. And some people I feel bad for some times because then people just disappear off forever.
Yeah.
Like, don't let that happen.
For sure.
Don't just disappear for like a week, 2, a month if it's needed.
Yeah.
Come back 3 times harder, 10 times harder, 100 times harder.
Like everyone needs to understand that, like, the creative drought, the slump.
We're not machines. We're humans.
We're humans. Like it's inevitable. It's gonna happen, and if it happens once, it's not gonna be the last time that it happens.
No.
And you just need to understand that it's gonna happen. Camera cut. Let's pause.
Camera cut. Rolling.
Sorry, guys. Camera overheated. Like I said on all the previous episodes, this is how you know this shit is real. This shit is live.
You got the camera breaking down.
This shit is not scripted. So yeah, I kind of want to finish up where we were on the
creative block.
Yeah, creative block, creative slump. Like, people need to understand that that's inevitable. That's gonna happen in your creative path or just your path in life. Like, you're gonna get those moments of like going through the motions, feeling, and like you need to have that creative therapy. You need to just, like you said, maybe take a step away, see what your friends are doing. Implement maybe some of the things they're doing.
New things.
New things, or fucking...
New things, new results.
Yeah, new things, new results. Go to the fucking beach by yourself. Go on a hike by yourself. You know,
sunsets, go chase some sunsets.
Dude,
that's what I do, man. Like, everyone's different, you know? Like,
Everyone's different. Everyone has their different method. But also, like, I feel a lot of it, people need to be more comfortable with being alone.
Yeah.
You know, like, too many people don't value and don't take advantage of the alone time in a sense, because like when you're alone and like you're in those slumps or whatever, and then you have to deal with it by yourself, like you learn so much about yourself and like the real reasons of like why you're doing what you're doing, and like understanding just like, hey, having the conversation with yourself and being like, okay, I know what this is. I've been in this before, or I know this feeling. Let me just take a breath, take a step away, refresh, reset, and come back. Because it'll always come back.
It does.
It'll always come back.
And it comes back harder sometimes, too.
Dude, it comes back 10 times
like,
harder.
oh, shit, we're in this now. We're in this.
Dude, literally, I can't even...
feel it.
Exactly. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I've, like, even from being in this house, like, I've taken, like, 2 weeks off from the studio. Like, not even step foot down in there. Yeah, because I just needed it. Like, I needed it to just get away for a little bit, and then I came back, and it was like...
It shouldn't be...
I made, like, 3 songs in a night, 6 beats in a night. Like, it was just like, boom, 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 boom.
If you're in this for the long run, those breaks should mean nothing.
Dude, nothing. And
if you're here to get this fast and get this image fast and get the money fast, shit, man, those breaks are going to freak you out. But, like, if you're here to do it just forever, like I said, whether it's, like, why you love it, those breaks are needed. It's for the long run move. We're doing this for the long run. So
have to.
That break
is part of the process.
Those 2 weeks off will get you going for another 3 years, or etc. However you feel, however life's setting up for you at the time.
It's part of the process.
It's definitely part of it.
100%. And fall in love with the process.
Shit, man, that's that one.
Yeah, fall in love with the process.
I tell this to my brother too. It's like we understand, like we want to get to a point where we want to like see the stars, like
of course,
off the bat, you know. But like think about like these 3 festivals we did, man. Like what we did to get there, we loved it.
Of course.
Like the nerves, everything we felt, like everything to getting the guest list, to writing down the little things, like all that was fun.
Yes.
And like I think about those times, I'm like, dude, we enjoyed it as we were going through it. Of course. And like, what's the point of going from A to Z and then you forget everything in between? And you're 100%. At Z and you're like, oh, we're here. What
now
the
what?
fuck?
Yeah, now what? Exactly.
What else? Yeah, like.
And it was like it's totally back to the point that you said earlier of like the why, you know, of like understanding why you started, and also like having it's a principle of perspective when you're starting something from nothing.
Yeah.
When you had nothing and now you have something, and like you're dealing with guest lists or logistics of buying a venue, or you know, renting a venue or getting art, or like all that, like it becomes fun because you're like you have the understanding and the gratitude to know what it's like when you had nothing, and you wish that you were at the point that you're at right now.
I think about that a lot.
Like it's such a crucial aspect. Like you're right where you like wanted to be, you know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of that. Yeah. Because like that'll keep you grounded very much, of like understanding just, you know, where you're going and where you're headed and where you've been, and giving you that perspective and that kind of, you know, heads up. Because when you come from nothing and you have nothing and then you have something, it's a very valuable step, and it's a valuable process, and it's a valuable asset to just becoming a successful human being, and like just never losing sight, and like really being grateful and never losing the perspective, like, and just always being grateful for what you have, because you didn't have it before. You've worked your ass off.
People lose sight of that.
Now you're fucking here, man. Like,
yeah, it's crazy,
dude.
Like, you gotta remind yourself, like, that you're here, and then, like, this is what you wanted, and like, dude. And then I'm like, all right, take a deep breath. We're here.
Exactly.
3 years ago, I was not here. I was literally doing other shit to get here.
Literally.
Now I'm here. Why am I gonna be flipping and stressing that I want to get somewhere else? Like, this is where I'm at. Enjoy these and squeeze them, and then to get to the next step.
And then just keep moving.
Enjoy it though, as you're doing it.
Of course, you have to. You have to love it.
Yep.
Exactly. See, everything it all
intertwines.
Yep,
Back to
it
the
all
core of it.
fucking intertwines here. So we're gonna move on. Excuse me. What is the future? What can your fans, your followers, your community expect from Box Boys in the future? You know, venue-wise, concert-wise, video-wise, merch, just brand as a multimedia company, and what you guys have built. Yeah. What can your fans expect from you in the future?
As Box Boys, I would love to see it too. Right now, we're just doing festivals as of one stage, so it's like a lineup of 10, like 8 to 10 to 11 people, and it's just bang, 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 fast. So that's how it's starting now. For the festival aspect of it, I would love to eventually see 2 stages, 3 stages in like a few years from now, and then
like an actual festival,
literal outdoor festival with 20,000 people running around.
Yeah, like a Coachella type thing.
Coachella status, Rolling Loud status. That's actually the idea for it. I want to have that Rolling Loud inspiration and then the Coachella inspiration, but then merge it, and then it's us, and then that's where Box Fest is, you know? Because that's what we're doing now. We're just doing
that's gonna be your lane.
Straight underground rap, and that's where we're squeezing it from. Like, we're coming out of the underground. But then when we do have the options to just stay back and then say no to everything and choose, that's where it gets exciting, to where we can then bring in like, and say we would have Trippie Redd and then like Rufus on the next stage.
Yeah,
that's some shit like that.
For sure.
That'd be cool. So that's the ideal outlook for the festival stuff down the road, when we can have like any just big heads with music that we both enjoy. Because I respect my brother's decisions with what we're doing now, and honestly, like the underground raps, it's going crazy right now. Like,
totally.
I love house and all, but it's not going crazy in the underground scene.
Yeah.
For them. So we're squeezing out of this, and it's like I want to then bring in everything and then flip it.
Okay.
And then we have a full control of what we want to do with psychedelic rock coming in, still sticking with rap, a couple different artists coming into, and it's just like a mixture of like Rolling Loud and Coachella. So that's what we want to expect for the festivals as Box Boys approaching it.
Sweet.
And then music videos, for sure, we would just love to see the production grow within teams, you know, like right now it's just me and my brother, but as we grow, depending on like budgets of how we move and like sticking with rap, I would love to have, I keep supporting my brother's decisions along with mine, and when we work, I know he has like some artists he wants to work with, like Lil Skies, stuff like that, so I'm like, I'm for it too. I love Lil Skies, and I'm like, we're gonna make these things happen. And then that's just pretty much the ideal route. So we have like all just general rap music we love with the rap world, bringing it in with like indie, alternative rap or alternative rock, and then psych rock, all this, but then meshing it. Because like if you think about it now, like I'm listening to music that's dropping, and there's like drum and bass rap. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. So it's like, shit, there's no right answer to the way music's supposed to go.
There is no rules. That's the thing about creativity. There is no rules.
There's no rules.
There's
so that's what we're just paying attention to that. So where the music's going and what we enjoy with it at the end of the day, like not just only creating for what the fans like, but it's like at the end of the day, it's what we like. Because there's no point of us creating a huge, massive empire, and then my brother and I are here like, fuck.
This is not what we want.
like we fucked up. Totally. Like now we can't change the curve. But I mean, we always really could, but then it's just gonna be different. And who knows how it'll look. But definitely just having a balance between the results and the feedback, but then also to what we enjoy the most.
Of course.
Into our music videos.
Totally. Like how you said in the beginning, you know, for Box Boys, there is no cap. There is no limit.
There's no limit.
It is the creative freedom of, you know, creative expression. Like,
yeah, exactly. And that goes to anyone that decides to work with us down the road too. Like what they would expect to work with us. Like we're open for those ideas.
Totally.
Because that's what makes us.
Of course.
We're not just like, hey, this is what we are and this is only it. Like, fuck that corporate mindset. Like, this is it. Yeah. Like, no, dude, we're here to just express yourself and move it. And if that's it, we'll take the downfall together.
Yeah, we'll help you create it. And
literally, we'll help you create it. We'll help each other create it. My brother goes for his decision. We fall or win with that. Same with me. We fall or win with that decision. And then that goes for anyone helping us, whether it's management side or anyone just working with certain aspects of what pathways we open up. If the opinions are there, let's listen to it.
Totally.
Run it, you know?
Fire. I love that. I'm so excited for you guys, dude. I'm so excited for you guys. It's only been fucking 2 years.
2 years, man.
2 years, you guys have been fucking killing it. You guys' festivals are going gnarly. You guys' just brand is growing like crazy.
Thank you, brother.
I'm fucking stoked for you. Seriously, you killing it. See, guys, this is what happens when you love what you do. You know your why. You have the passion for it, and you compromise all the things that we talked about throughout this show and throughout this episode of like you're living proof of it. And that's what happens when all those things come together. Like you get that kind of growth in a short amount of time, and you have a clear vision for the future, and you just understand where you want to go, what you want to do. You know, make sure you have all those things in place first.
Yeah, remaining like humble, of course, man. Because there's some people that just boom explode in that short amount of time, and then they forget the roots and where and the why. The why disappears.
Exactly, and then then money becomes the motivator, and you know.
Then you see it
all the fucking things we fucking talked about, you know, like I love how it's all coming full circle.
Constant reminding to yourself,
of course,
as you grow, especially if it's fast growth. Take a step back from it and realize like what's in front of you, and then
you got to develop the skills.
Develop that
100%. and this goes perfectly kind of into like one of our like, ending topics, ending questions here is, I like to say, the one life advice question. You as Gio, what would be your one life advice to anyone or anybody that's listening, that's watching, someone that's a fan of you, not a fan of you yet, gonna be, anybody that's just trying to do something and looking for maybe that answer or that push, that motivation to get started or just to continue to keep going? What would be your one life advice to our audience and to our listeners?
I would say, do not create something based off someone else's image. Be yourself. There's only one. You are a one of one. There's only one Gage. There's only one Gio. Don't fulfill someone's image, creating your dreams within that, because you're gonna burn. And that goes into the aspect of just reminding yourself not to worry the judgment of being yourself back into you're gonna die. But the thing is, just be yourself. There's only one you.
Yeah.
No one's gonna replicate you, because it's your ideas are original. Like, you act the way you are, you move the way you are, you think the way you are. It's like you. This is why your results are the way they are. It's because it's you.
Yeah.
Be you.
Totally.
And create that empire. Create whatever you're creating, or move the way whatever you're doing in your way as you.
Absolutely.
Don't do it like, be inspired by others, but do you. 100%, 150% you. Don't copy anyone.
Don't duplicate.
Don't duplicate.
Yeah,
that's gonna fuck you up bad.
Don't build yourself off someone else's ideal for yourself.
Yeah, that's gonna burn you, and that's gonna burn you bad. That's what my brother and I are doing. We're just becoming better versions of ourselves and becoming the next step of just being a better me.
Exactly.
I am Gio. There's one of one. No, there's no other one of me.
It's you versus you.
Someone can look like me, someone can act like me, but that's not me.
Yeah.
Vice versa. I can try to act like this person and move like this person. That's them.
Yeah.
That's not
me.
who I'm gonna be.
Yeah. Be genuine. Be authentic.
Man. And then you just feel more comfortable in the body that you're in.
Absolutely.
And you move faster, better, and healthier. And it all goes into those things we talked about, like, don't worry about the judgment, because we're gonna die.
Yeah.
But then that's my biggest one, is just be you.
I love that. And that it's, again, such a simple answer, but it's not.
It's what works.
It is. It's what works. And it's something that a lot of people need to just understand and to grasp, because, I have friends personally, or I've met people personally that, struggle with that.
The identity for
Yeah,
themselves.
the identity, the concept of like, dude, just be you. Don't do anything for anybody else. Do it because you want to do it.
Yeah, listen to the music that you want.
Make the things you want to do. Wear the shit you want to wear. It doesn't matter.
Change the style. Like, it's whatever you decide to like. Like,
exactly. Don't be afraid of the judgment.
Yeah, exactly. Back to that.
Dude, man, just everything's coming full circle. I love that, and it's so fucking important to understand and to grasp. So we're gonna fucking kind of dive into the last topic category, as you should say. It is 7 on 7's song of the day.
Shit.
So, Mr. Gio, one song off your playlist. It could be SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify. Doesn't matter. One song.
Between two, but I'm gonna just hook this one.
Yep. Okay.
This is from the BPL album from D Savage.
Okay. BPL album.
It's called Bet.
Bet.
Just because it has that Zelda symphony that I grew up in, and then I listened to it, and it's grown on me way more. It's very, I don't know. It's just a very hard song. It goes in. That was performed live at BOXFest, and it hit me harder then. Now I love it more. Bet from D Savage.
And that's off the
BPL
album by D Savage. Yeah. The song is Bet.
Bet.
Well, you fucking heard it here first. Off the BPL album by D Savage.
Fire song.
Well, guys, that's gonna fucking do it. Episode number 3 of 7 on 7. Once again, Gio, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate you being here. This was a fucking wonderful conversation.
Great conversation.
I'm really excited for everyone to hear this. I'm really excited for everything that you're doing, everything that you're going to do here in the future. I'm so excited for the future of Box Boys, and just to see you guys to continue to fucking grow and, flourish, and just you're a fucking great guy. You're a genuine human. I love your mindset. You got everything right. So yeah, dude, just fucking thank you for being on here, dude.
Thank you, brother. It means a lot, man.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys watching. Remember to share the show, and we will see you guys next time.